3, 2, 1. Arguing again, arguing about something so simple. Make it clear, tell me why you're running back to him.
In my mind, there are quite a lot of steps to making a sticker sheet and then publishing it on Etsy. In today's studio vlog, I want to take you guys through the process of how I make my sticker sheets on my Etsy shop from just an idea to a finished piece. Just a disclaimer, this is not a tutorial, it's more just like working through my process. The first step, as is with anything, is you find an inspiration and an idea. That includes finding the color palette, the style of artwork you want to do, etc. The next step is to go into a digital app to sketch, ink, color, add shadows, add details, and convert all of your art into a sticker sheet or a die cut sticker format. Yes, so like I mentioned, I use Procreate for all of my digital art, including all of my thumbnails, including all of my stickers on Etsy. And as far as my brushes go, I use 5 main brushes, which are going to be here on the screen, and they are all in the Procreate default pack, so they're all free, and you can definitely use them if you get the app. I also use this Apple crayon to draw everything, which makes it super easy, so I don't have to use my fingers, of course. I'm going to talk about the printing process later, but specifically when I'm using the print then cut option on my Cricut, it can only cut out a 6.75 inches times a 9.25 inches, and therefore, because I don't want any resizing to mess up the quality of the image, when I'm directly in Procreate, I make sure that my board itself is 6.75 times 9.25 inches. For these particular stickers that I'm making in this video, I am recreating something that I did last month. So in May of 2022, I had a mushroom themed bullet journal, and so I took some of the doodles that I drew in that bullet journal and made them into stickers on my shop, which by the way are available now if you want to go check them out. But I want to do the same thing for June. So my June plan with me I just published on my YouTube channel. You can go watch it right now if you want to, links down below. And all that artwork I drew myself, and so I want to convert some of it into stickers so that I can sell on my Etsy shop so I don't have to come up with any new ideas. This includes replicating the color palette, so everything is pretty much being copied right over, and take step right out of the way because my idea is already planned and I'm ready to start sketching. The sketching process is also really simple, and this is what I started doing yesterday. Basically, I took flat lays of all of my bullet journal spreads for Instagram pictures that I'm going to post later this month, and so I just cut out some of those pictures, some of the drawings that I did, and traced over them in Procreate.
I've been out of my head, can't get out of bed. Too much on my brain, but got it good, can't complain. It's like I'm losing my mind, and time's hard to find. What's a girl gotta do to catch a break up when life tries to test?
So far, these are the 3 stickers that I've come up with. 2 of these cakes and 1 little platter of macarons with the 4. Not as much as I would have liked to get done, but I will do more later. Now I want to work on my mother's bullet journal. Today at school we had finals again, which I exempted, so I'm not doing any of them. So I basically just chilled in school and inked all of the stickers that you guys saw me sketch yesterday. It's ending up to be a sticker set and not a sticker sheet, which means that they're going to be die cut and not kiss cut. I'm doing that because there are only 5 stickers and not 10, which is what I would like to have as the minimum for a sticker sheet. But it's not a big deal because it's just less work for me, and I have more sticker sheets anyway, so it kind of balanced out my shop. So yeah, I basically just inked all of the basic designs, and then the next step, which I'm going to do after I finish my lunch, is color it. So let's talk about the coloring process of sticker sheets real quick. So like I mentioned, the first step is to add the flat lay. So I'm just going to take a normal round brush and add all the main colors, and then I'm going to go on to a clipping mask, which basically keeps all the art that you're drawing only on the space that you drew on the layer below it. And I'm adding all of these shadows with a darker shade of the one color, and then I'm going to go in later and add highlights with just a white technical pen and add little streaks along all the top right corners where the light might hit it if that was where the light source was. Because I do print my sticker sheets, I also need to make sure that I'm upping the saturation an abnormal amount, but it kind of levels out whenever I print it because the printer doesn't use as much saturation, so it normalizes to the amount of saturation that I usually want. I also usually go into the curves and up the brightnesses and lower the darknesses so that way the contrast in each stickers pop and you can definitely see them when they're printed out on paper. Another thing I like to do is not have all my stickers outlined in black, so even though I originally did them in black, I will add an alpha lock, which basically locks that particular layer so you can't draw outside of the lines that you already drew in. And then I'll go in with a huge brush and basically just recolor those lines so that they're slightly darker than the shadowed areas of each of the drawings. So there's one light color for the flat layer, and then one slightly darker color for the shadows, and then an even darker color for the outline, but it's all coinciding in the same hue. And then the last step I do is convert each of my artworks into a sticker, so to speak. For the Cricut to cut around each of the sticker and add a little gap, I have to make sure there's space between the edge of the sticker and where the Cricut is going to cut. So what I do is I duplicate that particular layer with all the art on it and I make it completely white. Then I use a Gaussian blur and like blur it out a little bit so it expands beyond the normal sticker shape. And then I use this tool that I'm not sure what it's called, but you can see what I'm doing here on the screen. I press automatic and slide until it makes an automatic outline around each of the edges. Then I have to invert that black space so it goes behind the stickers instead of around them. And then I change the color from black to white because that is the color of the paper that I'm printing on. Technically, if I used a different color, it would have, like, for example, a purple ring around each of the stickers and it would print like that. But because it's a white ring on a white piece of paper, it doesn't show up in real life. Then when I go to print, my Cricut knows to cut around the white space, but as I said, it blends in with the normal piece of paper. So you just have a normal little gap around each of the stickers. That makes it much more aesthetic and easier to cut than it would be to cut around the exact sticker itself. So I hope that little tutorial made sense to you guys. The next step is to print all of my stickers, but I'm actually going to save that for tomorrow because I have a little bit of work that I have to do tonight instead. As always, if you guys have any questions about the sticker making process, definitely drop them in the comments below. Again, this is only my way of doing it. There are probably tons of other ways of doing it, and I've learned myself from just researching about how Cricuts work, how Etsy works, and that kind of thing. But for now, this method works for me, and hopefully it can work for you guys too. That good? It says this is not level. Okay, so I need to film a little brand segment. Oh, is my hair okay? Good enough, honestly. I need to film a quick little brand segment for my June plan with me, so I'm just gonna do that real quick. Ahem. I feel like that was not the smoothest it could have been, but it's fine. How many times on my channel have you seen me do an exact same intro as that? So it's the next day, it's Wednesday, May 25th. So I think we've gotten the first two steps out of the way. We've already found the inspiration, we've already gotten our aesthetic together, and then we already sketched the stickers and got the stickers made. So now step 3 is to print the stickers and build inventory. And that's what we're going to do today. Here, let me bring you guys closer. The last thing you saw of my stickers, I believe, was I finished making them and recoloring them, resizing them, and putting the white border around it. So now we have this entire vector ready. What I did while I was at school was I took the 5 original stickers and I duplicated them and moved them around so I could fit 3 copies of each sticker on this one piece of paper. Make sure you have a transparent background. As you can see, this is the white border, but the background is transparent. Then the next step is going to be to come up in this corner, export it with the share button, and I usually do a PNG because it's the highest quality, and then I'm going to save the image. Okay, now that we have step 1 and 2 done, it's time to work on the inventory. So I'm just going to take you downstairs to where my computer and my printer is and demonstrate how I print my stickers. Because my computer is an iMac, all I have to do is airdrop it to the computer. Then I'm going to pull up the Cricut Design Studio thing, app, software, whatever. All I have to do is drag the file over from downloads and into the Cricut where it says, you know, upload a new design. And then I'm going to choose print then cut because I want the computer to send the design through the printer first before I cut it. Because it goes through this print then cut section, however, it has to be within the dimensions of 9.25 and 6.75, which is why, like I mentioned, my board in Procreate was that exact size. So I make sure to like resize it in the project thing to make sure it's small enough for it to print, and I'll send it right to the printer. Now, one thing to keep in mind is I am printing on sticker paper, so you have to make sure that the sticky part is facing the right way when it goes in the printer. This might differ based on your printer. I just had to do a few trial and error before I figured out the right way to put it. And also make sure whenever you set it up, you turn off the bleed. The next step is to send it right to my Cricut. So I'm just gonna put it on the little sticky mat thing, make sure all of them are lined up, and push it right into my Cricut. Now, this brings up the conversation of die cut versus kiss cut yet again. So if you think about a piece of sticker paper, it's basically like two pieces of paper, one with the adhesive and one just paper smushed together into one thicker piece of paper. And so there are different settings on the Cricut that tell you how deep the needle or laser or whatever is gonna cut through the paper. And so personally, I found that with my particular sticker sheets, if I use the cardstock level, maybe, like that's the thickness it's gonna cut through, it cuts perfectly through my particular sticker paper. However, if I was to do kiss cut stickers where you could peel off from the piece of paper and have the sticker, that's gonna be different than a die cut sticker when it's completely cut around. But with a kiss cut, I'm gonna cut at the paper minus or the negative paper level because it doesn't cut through as far. And then once I'm done with that, I'm gonna take the cardstock layer and cut a big rectangle around it. So I'll cut the entire sheet out, and then on that sheet there are miniature stickers that you can peel off. I hope the visuals are gonna help make sense. I was crossing my fingers because my printer was not working a couple days ago. Let's just hope that it works right now. And after that, the next step is just to build up inventory so I have enough stickers for when I publish them, people buy them off of my shop. Okay, shocker, we are back at my desk. This is like where I live 24/7. So I actually did a little more printing than you guys saw. Over here, I have 6 sets, I think, of the soiree stickers, and I think they turned out really nice. My only problem is they're not quite as saturated as I would like them to be. The good thing is that they are pastel colors, so it kind of makes up for it, but I will saturate them more before I print another pack. Over here, I actually just made some freebies, and so I printed out some of those that I can send in each sticker set. These ones are just little cakes. I think they're super cute, and again, they're just freebies. Some that I made on a whim and I can put as a thank you to people who buy stuff from my shop. And then I had to print a couple more of my novel ideas sticker sheet because I was running out. And I just had an Etsy order with someone who ordered one of these, so I just want to start packing her order as soon as possible. So I wanted to stock up on this now. So I think right now I'm just going to pack that sticker order real quick, and then tomorrow I'm going to move on to step 4. So I said that I was going to finish this vlog like the day later, but actually it's like 3 days later because I had a very busy weekend. But we're back to talk about the last step in making the sticker process, and that is to make the cover for Etsy and market it on social media. So what I usually do is once the stickers are all cut, I will just film a couple reels of them, take a couple nice pictures, and that's going to be it. And then I'll eventually take those pictures and change them into like promotional boards, stuff like that I can post on Instagram and Pinterest. And then I will take the reels and make them into TikToks and possibly YouTube Shorts. So I can use the same piece of media for multiple different platforms. The last thing I do is take a solid picture of those particular stickers to put on my Etsy shop, but I'm sure you guys know what it looks like. I'll put a couple of examples here on the screen. Another way I like to promote my stickers is use them in my weekly spreads, which I will then video and post on Instagram, or use them in YouTube videos like this one so that I can announce to you guys that my stickers are out on my shop. Now, what I did show you is how I make the official cover picture for my Etsy shop. Currently, my method is to digitally make covers. What I did was I went into Procreate and I imported the stickers that I made with the transparent background, and then I cut around each one so I only have 1 copy of each sticker and not 3. And then I'm just gonna like twist them around and resize them till they're all the size that I want, and then I'm going to give them each a little shadow behind them. So they already have the white ring around each of the stickers, but on this particular product picture I want them to stand off of the screen a little bit. So I'm going to do the same thing, duplicate it, make it all black, and then do the Gaussian blur so it blurs out just a little bit, but I'm just gonna leave it there at the blur so it kind of has a shadow behind the sticker. And the last thing is to put that blur layer at 50% opacity because I don't want it to be that dark. Then I'm just gonna move each of the stickers around and so that they kind of are joined together in a decent shape. And then on this particular one, I also added the little title, Summer Soiree, in my usual font, Recoleta, so I just kind of put that up in the corner, resized it, gave it a little shadow to make it stand out from the grid background, which by the way, I also recolored. And then after doing some like color touch-ups, everything like that, the cover is pretty much done. It's really not that hard, but it's just the method that I've come to use. There is one good thing about about this method is that I can make these digital stickers look cohesive no matter what lighting I'm in. If it's in the winter, it's harder to take lighting pictures, you know, as it is in the summer. If I have the digital covers, then it all looks cohesive. But the problem with that is also that it doesn't look much like stickers, whereas if I took a product picture, it looks more like stickers, so they're easier to market. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, these stickers that I just made are out on my shop officially, so you are free to go and check them out. Go and buy some for yourself, grab yourself some stickers made by me. I'll have the link down below, as always, to my Etsy shop if you're interested in supporting me over there. I don't really think this was as much of a tutorial as much as just like a walkthrough of what I personally do. If you want more of a tutorial about like what Cricut, specifics about how to set a Cricut up, Procreate, you know, specific things like that, definitely comment down below and I can help you because I've learned a lot. Hopefully just by seeing my process and me walking through it, you guys got some tidbits of information that you can use to make your own stickers. These business diaries vlogs have been very interesting for me to make, but I'm hoping to keep up with them. So if you want to watch my previous business diaries studio vlog, I'm going to have the video right over here. So don't forget to go check out that video because I talk a lot more about my Etsy shop and my creating process. Thank you so much for watching to this point in the video. If you did, comment below a crown emoji because y'all are the queens and kings. And I will see you over in this video. Toodles!